race last week. Denny, now that you've had a chance to look at it, what is your impression of what you did and what happened, what transpired there?
I mean, I feel like I explained it pretty well on my podcast, Extra Detrimental, every Monday. But, I mean, yeah, definitely went early. I was trying to combat the advantage that the cars that were around me were trying to get on me by switching it up on them, and making them have to react to me instead of me reacting to them. So certainly from now on, I texted Elton Sawyer. I said I'll keep it in the box from here going forward. So certainly, like any other call or rule that NASCAR will put an emphasis on, I'm sure they'll address it in the driver's meeting and say, hey, we're going to pay attention to this and make sure you keep it in the box. So we'll keep it in the box.
All right. Thanks for your time, Denny. Mike?
Well said. And I did listen to his podcast and Joey Logano's and got their points of view on it, heard Elton Sawyer in the press conference, and we'll discuss it as we go through this show and maybe show you a bit of video you haven't seen before.
Yeah. And you tell me, Clint, I know that there's different parts and pieces of this that you could agree or disagree with, but in that situation, you're all about winning the race, and to win the race, you know that it puts him in a box, and Denny's been around this a long time, that he knows if he goes a little bit early that it's probably questionable as to whether they make that call or don't. So as much chatter as there is about it this week, I'd keep it in the box if I was anybody else, because they're probably going to make that call next time.
100% agree with the latter part of that. First part of that, yes, that's exactly what he was doing. That's like I said it on the broadcast. It worked. He won.
All right, here is the restart. Hamlin on the inside, Truex on the outside, and right there, okay, Hamlin's on the gas, but right there, Truex is also at 100% throttle. So
you saying two wrongs don't make it right?
Yeah, and even though it's 5 frames on the screen there, the bottom line is Martin has to fire off that car, and he's got to be ready for that car to go early, in my opinion.
Yep.
And I think that Denny caught him a little bit off guard going earlier than he probably for sure thought he was going to go, but you have to be ready to not put yourself in a box of getting beat like that.
That's a good point.
The difference between the two of them being full throttle was about 1/6 of a second. Too close to call.
Also about 1 car length.
It's a ball and strike call.
Yeah.
They made the call. We played on. The race finished up. And yeah, we get to talk about it all week.
That's right.
But it doesn't change anything.
Nope.
I'm glad that humans are officiating the sport. They made the call, and we race on.
I'm glad we have cars on the track at Martinsville the following week. We finally made it a week. Think that car's ever won here? Been in victory lane. Got some clocks behind it.
Yeah.
Good looking rod. Hot rod is good looking.
We had Ray Evernham on Happy Hour this week on the podcast, and he talked about getting Jeff Gordon started here at Martinsville, and you talked about it in the pre-race. You don't just show up here and go fast. You have to work at it because it is such a rhythm racetrack. A lot of it depends on how your car is handling, the things that you're fighting for that particular week. But Jeff Gordon became really, really good at this place for a long time.
He will be the co-grand marshal tomorrow with Jeff Bodine, the driver who got Rick Hendrick's first win at this race 40 years ago, on a day in which if they didn't score, Rick Hendrick was going to shut the team down. But Harry Hyde and Bodine convinced Rick, hey, the car's ready for Martinsville. The guys want to go. Jeff wants to drive. Let's go there. And, of course, they won the race, and the rest is history. So tomorrow, 1,500 current and former employees of Hendrick Auto Group and Hendrick Motorsports will be here. They'll all be wearing ruby red shirts to cheer on these 4 ruby red cars, because as the 25th is the silver anniversary and the 50th is the golden, the 40th anniversary is the ruby anniversary.
Oh, well, the stats are really good here, and you listen to that story about 1,500 Hendrick employees showing up. That doesn't surprise me, and I know it doesn't surprise you guys either. That's just what Rick Hendrick, Hendrick Motorsports, Hendrick Automotive Group, that's just who they are as people and how they operate, and they are all about the people, which is one thing that makes them so great.
Said it on the quarter panel of Alex Bowman's car. They do it right. Rick Hendrick always does it right.
Jamie?